Hey guys, you're welcome back to our today's demo. So in this demo, we're going to look at how we're going to implement the change password functionality in Spring Security. And following the last video we created, which is the one we created a few weeks ago about password reset functionality, some of you actually requested for the functionality to change the password. You know, the difference between change password and reset password is that reset password means we forgot the password, so we don't remember the password. So then we requested for the reset password, and the application will send a verification email to the email with which we registered to the application with a token, with a verification token. So when we click on that link, and we are going to follow the process to actually reset the password, just like everything we have done in our previous videos, right? The complete flow. We have the complete flow here in our channel here. So if you have not watched those videos, I really encourage you to actually go through the channel. I'm going to leave all those links below this video so you can actually go through the series of those videos so you can actually understand what we've done in the past. So having said that means you forgot your password and you have to reset the password. But now change password means you did not forget the password. You actually remember the password, but for some reasons you want to change the password. Maybe maybe your password has been compromised, so you want to change the password to a new one. So in that case, a form is going to be presented to you. Then you are going to enter the old password and the new password. So and a verification is going to take place if your old password you enter into the form matches with the old password is in the database. Then it's going to be replaced by the new password you enter. So this is just the difference between the change password functionality and the reset password functionality. So if we go back into our project we created last time, I'm just going to this is the one we created last time to send verification email and reset password. So I'm just going to go to the registration package and click on the password package, the folder. And now I'm going to just open up the controller, the registration controller here. Open up the registration controller. So now if we look at this one here, we see everything we have done in the past, right? So here we have everything we've done in the past: verification, verifying email, and resetting the password, and so on and so forth. So today we are going to add a new endpoint that will actually enable us to change our password. So what I'm just going to do here, before we move forward, I'm going to do something here. So this reset password, where is it? Here we have reset password somewhere. Oh, here, this is the reset password. So the first thing we're going to do here, I'm going to change the name of this method because we're going to use, this is the same method we're going to use for the change password, right? So it's not going to be reset password anymore. I'm going to change this name to change password instead of reset password, right? So I'm going to refactor from the base method. So now I'm just going to say change password. And is it correct? Yeah, it's correct. So we change this to change password. So now if we go here, we see that the name has changed from the base, right here. Where is change password? No, not here. Let's go back here. Sorry guys. Okay, this one here. So if we click on it, you see that the base method has been changed here. In the interface as well as be changed. So now, having done this, the first thing we're going to do here is to go to the user service class. So going to the user service class, sorry, what is happening? My mouse is not functioning well. So we're going to add a new method here to actually validate the password of the old password of the user against the current password stored in the database. What I mean is that, you know, when you request to change your password, a form is going to be presented before you, right? And that form says you should enter your old password and then enter the new password. So now what the method we're going to create here is that when the old password and the new password is entered, we're going to find the user in the database, right? So when we find the user in the database, if the user exists, then we are going to compare the old password the user entered into the form with the current existing password that is encrypted in the database. So we're going to compare if the old password matches with the password that is stored in the database, then we are going to continue with the change password process. But if it doesn't match, we're going to throw a message to the user that the password does not match. So until the user until the user is able to confirm that he is the one try to change the password before we can actually change the new password, right? So for not talking too much, let's quickly create a method here that will actually do that for us. So here we have a public method. This one is going to be a Boolean. And this one, I'm going to call it old. Oh, sorry. I'm going to call this old. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Old password. Old password is valid. Right? We're going to say old password is valid. What is this? And now this method is going to take the object of the user from our user. Make sure it's coming from our user. Here we have a couple of users here, so we are getting the one from our project, right? And let's have the object. And now we're going to get the old password entered by the user in the form, right? Old password, right? So now what we're just going to do here is to return, because remember that the old password has been encrypted in a database. Now for us to be able to compare the newly entered password in the form with the one that is stored in the database, so we need to encrypt this one too, right? So for that, we're going to call our password encoder. So we just say return password encoder. We've gotten it here before, right? Up here. This one is a variable up here. It's the beans we created in our old video, right? Here, this one here, password encoder, right? So that's what we're doing here. So now we just say password encoder. Then we're going to use a method called matches of the password encoder. Now we're going to compare this old password, right, with the new password. The old password that the user has entered with the already existing password in the database here. So this is just the method. This is how we have to declare this method. But I want to pull up this method to the interface. I want to pull it up to the interface so that because that is where all the method signature are declared. Okay, let's confirm it. This one here. Is it okay here? It has come here, right? You can see here. I just want to put it up so it will be here. So now, having done this, let's go to our registration controller. So for that, we're going to create a new API here. And this API, we're just going to call it change password straight ahead, right? So let's say public string. This one is going to be returning a string as a message. Public string change password. Public string change password. And we are going to take there's a class we created last time called password reset request. I'm going to call this. Now this password reset request is no longer particular to the password request alone. So for that, I'm going to change the name of this. Let's go here. So I'm going to change the name of this to password to something else. So let's say password password words, password password requests. Let's say password requests, right? Request util, password request util. Let's just, this one works, right? Yes, change audio occurrence. Just select every and change. This could be so dangerous if it's not properly done. It will break up our application. Now, if you remember last time when we were doing the password reset, the only field we used was this one here, just because that one is reset password. We don't need to confirm the old password. We just, provided we are able to confirm the user email from the link we sent to the user email, then we just ask the user to enter a new password. But for this time around, we're going to ask the user to enter the old password and the new password. Then we're going to find the user with the email, right? So for that, we're going to make use of these three this time around. So now let's go back to our user controller and to continue with this. Now we see that the name has changed here. So now I'm just going to call this one as request util for short, right? Okay, and this one is going to be at request body, because we're going to be requesting what the user has entered. A request, is this correct? Request what? request body, because we're going to be requesting the body of this from the user, right? So now let's actually find the user. So user equals user service dot find by email, and now we're just going to say request util dot get email. We're going to get the user email, right? Now we're going to check. Now we're going to make use of the method we just created, right? So if user service dot password dot old password is valid, now if the old password is valid, then here the parameters here are the user and the old password. So just say request util dot get old password, right? Now okay, this one, I think this one is optional, so let's give the extra dot get method. Okay, now what we're doing here is that we just pick the user from the database, right? So after getting the user from the database, now we try to compare if the password that the user has entered, right? If the password that the user has entered matches the old password. Now, if the password, like here, back here. Now, if the old password of the user matches, sorry, what am I saying? If the old password the user entered inside the form, right, matches the current password that is stored in the database, it's going to return true. If not, it's going to return false, right? So now what we're doing here is that we're just trying to get the same thing here right now. That's what we're trying to compare here right now. So if we're going to get the old password and compare with the current password of the user stored in the database. Now, if this one is, so we're going to flip this. If not is valid. So if it's not that, if the password is not valid, then we're going to return a string message to the user. So we're just going to return a string. So we're going to say incorrect old password, right here. Now, if that is not the case, then we're just going to call the user service dot change password. So we're going to use change password there, and then we're going to pass in the user, and then we're going to get the new password that the user has entered into the form. Get the new password here, right? After that, we're going to return another string to the user. So we just say return a success string, right? So password changed success. Password changed successfully. So this is all we need here to change the password. So now this one is going to be a post mapping, and we just come here to say we're going to make it clear, change what? Change password, right? Okay, cool. So now I think this is just all we need. This is just all we need, to be honest. This is just all we need to change the password. Cool, right? So now let's test run our application to see what we got. So let me see our properties. I don't want to lose any. Do we actually have something in database? So let's change it to create. So we have to recreate our database so we can test afresh, right? So now let's actually run our project to test run the functionality we've just added. Okay, so we see that the application has started. So let's go to Postman. Let's go to Postman. And this was the collection we used last time, right? So let's open up the collection. And now we don't have any user in the database, right? And remember, we secured, this user was secured last time. Only login user can actually access this API, right? But right now, I don't think we have a user in it. We have any user. So let's go here. So this is our table. We don't have any users here. Everywhere is empty. Password reset token is empty. Email verification token is empty. Everything is empty. So now let's go and create. The first thing we're going to do here is to create a new user. So here, where is it? register a new user. So let's register a new user. So here, okay, this one is still here. We have the password 123456 and the row is user and so on and so forth. So let's just hit on this button and see what happens. Okay, success. Please check your email. So now we need to verify our email. Remember last time, this one here, we need to actually verify our email, right? So I think here we get a message, I think so. Oh, sorry, I could have opened this email down before. Oh, sorry for wasting your time. Come on, open. Okay, I think we got a message. Okay, here, let's go back here. Okay, so here we receive a message for email verification. So let's actually verify the email. Because if the email is not verified, we cannot log in, right? Okay, email verified successfully. Now you can log in. So now let's actually go here. Let's pretend we want to view the users. Remember, we log down the user, right? If you've not watched that video, please, I really encourage you to watch the video because we did a lot of things. Those videos are very helpful. So watch those videos. I will drop those links below so you see how we got to this very point we are today. So now this is the email and the password is 123456, right? Boom. So here we are able to log in and we get all the users from the database. So now here we see that this is the password and this is the email. So what we're just going to do right now is we want to change this password, right? So that is the goal of this demo. So now I've added another endpoint here in our user collection here, a user folder here inside the registration collection. So I added a new stuff here, a new endpoint. So what we're just going to do here is let's get the body. This is the body, right? What happened? Okay, cool. So here, let's enter the body. We're going to have the email, right? Email, and we're going to just go down and say old password. This old password, and we're going to get the new password. New password here. So make sure this name actually rhyme with the password. Okay, here. Here, make sure the name here actually rhymes with this. Let me remove this. Zoom this out a little bit. Password retail. So make sure the name you are entering there rhyme with this. Those names exactly with this ones here. Okay. Let's go back there. So what is the value? What is the value of the email? Let me just go and copy the email of the user, the one we registered. No, not here. Sorry. What is postman? This is postman here. Where the user was just registered. Okay, this one here. So let's actually copy the email of the user. Just copy and go back here and paste it here. Let's just paste it here. And remember that the old password was 123456. 123456, right? So we want to change the password to 12345. But now I'm not going to do this one as let's test. Let's just enter a wrong old password to see what happens. So now the password is not correct. The old password is not correct. So let's send. So here we have a message we defined last time: incorrect old password, right? That was the message we defined last time if the password is not correct. So now let's enter a correct password 56, and now the new password is going to be 12345, right? So let's send. So we see password changed successfully. Now let's go back to the browser and actually see if the password is changed. So let's go back to the browser to see if the password is changed. Now I'm going to open a new incognito window. So here I'm just going to say I'm going to go to the same URL that requires us to log in here. So now the user password, the user email, and the old password was 123456, right? So let's hit this, bad credentials. So the new password we change is 12345, right? So let's go. Boom, boom, boom. So we got it, right? It's right. It's cool, right? It's cool. So now we're able to change our password, right? So now we go back here. Let's go back to our code. So this actually brings us to the end of this demo. So the goal of this demo is to change our password, right? So that is just the functionality we added here. Like I said, if you have not watched this video before, we've done a lot in this video. This is we are just building upon what we've done before. There are a lot of things we have done here. You can see that when we register the new user, we're asked to verify our email, right? You can notice that we're asked to verify our email. So those are the things we have actually done in the past. You see here, so we verify our email. So those are the functionalities we have built in the past inside this application. So if you have not watched that video, it's really cool. I really recommend you to watch that video. I'm going to leave all the link below this video so you can actually explore what we did today. So guys, thank you so much for always being with me, and thank you so much. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please don't forget to do that. And please, like I usually say, please help me share my channel with your friends, and introduce my channel to the world. And God will bless you. Thank you so much, guys, and hope to see you again. And thank you, and happy coding. Goodbye.